Hello everyone. Today we'll study the systems of linear equations. First example, x plus y equal to 10, y equal to 2x plus 4. When there are two equations, we consider it's a system. When there are two or more equations together, we consider this is a system. To solve a system means we try to find x and y that satisfy both equations. To solve a system, that means I try to find x and y that satisfy both equations. So when there are multiple equations together, it's called a system of equations. To solve a system of equations, that means you try to find x and y that satisfies both equations. So let's try to find x and y that satisfy both equations. Observe this equation here. S plus y is 10. Y equal to 2x plus 4. How do we solve the equation for x and y? Observe. This y is 2x plus 4. If I substitute 2x plus 4 for y, what do I get? If I substitute 2x plus 4 for y, I have x plus 2x plus 4 equal to 10. If I substitute 2x plus 4 for y, since y equal to 2x plus 4, I can substitute 2x plus 4 for y. I have x plus 2x plus 4 equal to 10. Then I can solve this equation for x. This equation has only one unknown. I can solve this equation for x. If I combine like terms, x plus 2x is 3x. Let's eliminate the parentheses first. X plus 2x plus 4. If I distribute positive sign, I get positive 2x, positive 4. Combine like terms. 1x plus 2x is 3x. If I combine like terms, 1x plus 2x is called 3x. Then try to get s by itself. Try to get s by itself. I can subtract 4 from both sides. On the left side, positive 4 and negative 4 can cancel. I get 3x by itself. On the right side, 10 minus 4 is 6. In order to get s by itself, I divide both sides by 3. So number 3 on the top and the bottom can cancel. I get s by itself on the left side. On the right side, 6 divided by 3 is 2. Now we know x. Here we know x. How do we find y? To solve a system of equations, you need to find both x and y that satisfy both equations. Now we know x is 2. If we know x is 2, how do we find y? I can substitute this 2 here for x. Substitute 2 for x here. Substitute 2 for x. Then I can solve for y. So if I substitute 2 for x, I have y equal to 2 times 2 plus 4. If I substitute 2 for x, I have y equal to 2 times 2 plus 4. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. So for your final solution, you write s comma y equal to 2 comma 8. Usually s component comes first. Y component comes after. So you write s comma y equal to 2 comma 8. S coordinate comes first. Y coordinate comes after. Let's look at a different example. Another example, x minus y equal to 7. X equal to negative y plus 1. X minus y equal to 7. X equal to negative y plus 1. Observe this equation. X in the second equation, it says x equal to negative y plus 1. If I substitute negative y plus 1 for x in the first equation, I can simplify the equation. If I substitute this x with the second equation, because x equal to negative y plus 1, I'm allowed to substitute this x with the second equation. So if I substitute, I have negative y plus 1 minus y equal to 7. I substitute negative y plus 1 for x. Substitute negative y plus 1 for x. I have negative y plus 1 minus y equal to 7. Next, we see that this is an equation with only one variable, with only one unknown. I can try to solve this equation for y. I can try to solve this equation for y. So if there's nothing in the front of a parenthesis, I can drop the parenthesis. If there's nothing in front of a parenthesis, I can drop the parenthesis first. I get negative y minus 1 minus y equal to 7. Next, I try to combine like terms. Negative y by itself is the same as negative 1y. If there's no number in the front, I can assume number 1 in the front. Same thing, if there's no number in the front, assume the number in the front is 1. Then on the left side, try to combine like term first. When you combine like term, follow addition rule. Negative 1 plus negative 1. When we're adding two numbers of the same sign, keeping the sign, add the magnitude. 1 plus 1 is 2. Like term stays the same, so I get negative 2y. Negative 1y plus negative 1y, I get negative 2y. Plus 1 equal to 7. Next, in order to get y by itself, I need to eliminate 1 first, then eliminate negative 2 in the front. I can subtract 1 from both sides. On the left side, positive 1, negative 1 get cancelled. I have negative 2y. On the right side, 7 minus 1 is 6. In order to get y by itself, I can divide both sides by negative 2. On the left side, negative 2 on the top and the bottom get cancelled. I get y by itself. On the right side, positive 6 divided by negative 2. On the right side, positive 6 divided by negative 2. Positive number divided by negative number is always negative. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Then we know here we don't know y. Next, we need to find x. If I substitute my y here, I can get x by itself. If I substitute my y here, I can get x. I can solve for x. Substitute y here. So x equal to negative y. Y is negative 3 plus 1. I substitute negative 3 for y. I get negative 3 plus 1. I substitute negative 3 for y. I get negative 3 plus 1. And we know that double negative is positive. So I get 3 plus 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. So for the final answer, we write x, y equal to 4 comma negative 3. We write s, y equal to 4 comma negative 3. Or sometimes you can also write it as s equal to 4, y equal to negative 3. You can also write it in this way. S equal to negative 4, y equal to negative 3. Either way is okay. You can write the answer like this or like this. Either way is okay. And for the previous problem, you can write the answer as s equal to 2, y equal to 8. Either way is okay. Next example. 2x plus y equal to 4. 3x minus 2y equal to negative 1. What should we do for this problem? This problem we cannot substitute directly. We can't substitute directly. We don't have x and y to substitute. In this problem, we don't have x and y to substitute. So what should we do here? Observe the equation. Observe the first equation. If I solve the first equation for y, what do I get? If I solve the first equation for y, what do I get? I can subtract 2x from both sides. I get y equal to 4 minus 2x. If I solve the first equation for y, I get y equal to 4 minus 2x. Then I have y equal to 4 minus 2x. I can substitute this y into the second equation. If I solve the first equation for y, I get y equal to 4 minus 2x. Then I can substitute this y into the second equation. If I substitute y into the second equation, I have 3x minus 2 times y. Y is 4 minus 2x. If I substitute 4 minus 2x for y, I have 3 minus 2 times 4 minus 2x equal to negative 1. Then this equation only has one unknown, which is x. I can solve this equation for x. So when there's parentheses, distribute the number in front of the parentheses first. When there's parentheses, distribute the number in front of the parentheses first. I leave 3x the same. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. Negative 2 times negative 2x is positive 4x. Leave negative 1 the same. Then combine like terms. 3x plus 4x is 7x. When you combine like terms, follow addition rule. 3 plus 4 is 7. Leave negative 8 the same. Then we can solve the equation for x. I can eliminate negative 8 first, then eliminate number 7. So here I can add 8 to both sides. On the left side, negative 8 positive 8 cancel, we get 7x by itself. On the right side, negative 1 plus 8. Try to consider it when we combine in like terms. Try to follow addition rule. When we combine in like terms, follow addition rule. If we add in two numbers with different sign, keep the sign from the number that has larger magnitude. Then subtract the magnitude. A minus 1 is 7. In order to get x by itself, I can divide both sides by 7. If I divide both sides by 7 on the left side, number 7 on the top, the bottom get cancelled. We get x by itself. On the right side, positive 7 divided by positive 7 is number 1. Then once I know x, I can substitute x and find y. Once I know x is 1, I can substitute 1 here. I can substitute 1 for x. Then solve the equation for y. Y equal to 4 minus 2x. X is 1. I substitute 1 for x. 2 times 1 is 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. So for the final answer, we can write x comma y equal to 1 comma 2. We can write x comma y equal to 1 comma 2. That's the answer. Or you can also write x equal to 1, y equal to 2. Either way is okay. You can write the answer like this. You can write the answer, or you can write the answer like this. Either way is okay. For number 3, you may want to ask me a question. Why I'm solving for y, not for x? Why I'm solving for y? The reason I solve for y is because solving for y is much easier. You see that in the first equation we have y by itself. Solving for y is much easier than solving for x. In general, you can solve for either x or y, whichever you think is easier for you. In this question, in the first equation, we have letter y by itself. So solving for y will be much easier. In general, you can solve for either x or y, whichever you think is easier for you. And in this problem, you see that in the first equation, we have positive y by itself. So solving for y is much easier than solving for x. Let's look at a different example. Let's look at a different example. 4 minus 3y equal to 7. 2x plus 5y equal to 3. So we try to solve, it should be x minus 3y. It should be x minus 3y equal to 7, 2x plus 5y equal to 3. When we are solving a system of equation, you can choose either equation, solve for either x or y. You can choose either equation, solve for either x or y. Whichever you think is easier for you. If you observe the equation, in the first equation we see letter x by itself. In the first equation we see letter x by itself. That means if I solve the first equation for x, it will be much easier. So I choose the first equation, solve for x first. Solve one of the equation for one of the unknown number. In this problem, solving x is much easier than solving for y. So let's solve for x from the first equation. First equation says x minus 3y equal to 7. If I try to get x by itself, I can add 3y on both sides. So x equal to 7 plus 3y. If I add 3y to both sides, negative 3y and positive 3y get cancelled. I get x by itself on the left side. On the right side, I have 7 plus 3y. Then we know x is 7 plus 3y. I can substitute x into a different equation. Don't put x back to the same equation. Put x into a different equation. If you put x back to the same equation, you won't get a solution. You must put x into a different equation. If I substitute x into the second equation, I have 2 times 7 plus 3y plus 5y equal to 3. I substitute 7 plus 3y for this x. I substitute 7 plus 3y for this x. I get 2 times 7 plus 3y plus 5y equal to 3. Then this is the equation with only one unknown. This is the equation with only one unknown. I can solve this equation for 7. I can solve this equation for y. I can solve this equation for y. First of all, if there's a number in front of parentheses, distribute the number first. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 3y is 6y. Plus 5y equal to 3. Then on the left side, I can try to combine like terms. If I combine like term, 6y plus 5y. When I combine like term and the coefficient, 6 plus 5 is 11. I get 14 plus 11y equal to 3. In order to get y by itself, I need to eliminate 14 first, then eliminate 11. So I first of all subtract 14 from both sides. On the left side, positive 14 and negative 14 get cancelled. You get 11y by itself. On the right side, positive 3, negative 14. Try to combine like terms. When we are adding two numbers with different sign, keep the sign from the number that has larger magnitude. Here, negative 14 has larger magnitude, so I keep negative sign. Then subtract the magnitude. 14 minus 3 is 11. In order to get y by itself, I divide both sides by 11. So on the left side, positive 11 and negative 11 get cancelled. You get y by itself. On the right side, negative 11 divided by positive 11. Negative number divided by positive number is negative. 11 divided by 11 is 1. Once I know y, I can substitute y to find x. X equal to 7 plus 3y. If I substitute negative 1 for y, I have x equal to 7 plus 3 times negative 1. If I substitute negative 1 for y, I have x equal to 7 plus 3 times negative 1. Then simplify, get x by itself. Positive 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. 7 minus 3 is 4, so I get x equal to 4. For the final answer, we can write x comma y equal to 4 comma negative 1, or we can write s equal to 4, y equal to negative 1. Either way is okay. We can write s equal to 4, y equal to negative 1. Either way is okay. The technique we used for example 1, 2, 3, 4 is called the substitution method. The technique we used for example 1, 2, 3, 4 is called the substitution method. Let me give you the steps here. Step 1. Choose one of the equations. Choose one of the equations. And solve for one of the variables. X and y, they are called variables. Solve for one of the variable. Choose one of the equations and solve for one of the variables. X and y are called variables. So first step, choose one of the equation, solve for one of the variable. Whichever is easier for you. Choose one of the equation, solve for one of the variables. Whichever is easier for you. Step 2. Substitute the new expression into another equation. Substitute the new expression into another equation. Step 3. Solve for the resulting equation. Solve for the resulting equation. Step 4. Substitute one of the variables and solve for another variable. So that's the step here. Let me show you an example, step by step. Let me show you an example, step by step. Example number 5. X minus 3y equal to negative 7. 4x plus 3y equal to 17. So follow the steps here. Follow the step here. First step, step 1. Choose one of the equation, solve for one of the variable. So choose one of the equation, solve for one of the variable. Variable means x and y, x or y. So solve the equation for either x or y first. It looks like in first equation, there's a single x. So solving for x from first equation will be much easier. In the first equation, there's a single x here. So solve for x from the first equation will be much easier. Let's solve the equation for x. So solve the first equation for x. That's step 1. How do I solve for x? Solve for x means get s by itself. Solve for x means get s by itself. So I need to eliminate 3y. I can add 3y to both sides. Add 3y to both sides. Negative 3y and positive 3y get cancelled. I get s by itself. On the right side, I have negative 7 positive 3y. To make it easier, I write 3y minus 7. Writing the positive term in the front will be easier. I can write it as 3y minus 7. If I write the positive term in the front, it will be much easier. That's step 1. Choose one of an equation, solve for one of the variable. That's step 1. Step 2. Substitute the new expression into another equation. This is called a new expression. S equal to 3y minus 7. This is called new expression. Substitute the new expression into another equation. We solve x from the first equation. When you substitute, you must substitute x into the other one. You need to substitute x into the other one. So I substitute x into the second equation. I have 4 times 3y minus 7 plus 3y equal to 17. In the second equation, I replace x with 3y minus 7 because x equal to 3y minus 7. So in the second equation, I replace x with 3y minus 7. That's step 2. Substitute the new expression into another equation. That's step 2. Step 3. Solve the resulting equation. Solve this equation. Step 3. Solve this equation. I first of all distribute 4. 4 times 3y is 12y. Positive 4 times negative 7 is negative 28. Plus 3y equal to 17. Then combine like terms. 12y plus 3y is 15y. 12y plus 3y is 15y. Minus 28 equal to 17. In order to get y by itself, I can add 28 to both sides. Positive 28 and negative 28 get cancelled. We get 15y by itself on the left side. We get 15y by itself on the left side. On the right side, we have 17 plus 28. 17 plus 28 is 45. In order to get y by itself, I divide both sides by 15. So I have on the left side, 15 on the top and the bottom get cancelled. I get y by itself. On the right side, 45 divided by 15 is 3. So next step 3 here. Solve the resulting equation. It's step 3. Step 4. Step 4. Substitute one of the variable. One of the variable is 3. I substitute 3 here. Substitute one of the variable. Solve for another variable. So I substitute 3 for y. Then I can solve for x. So step 4. I substitute 3 for y and solve for x. X equal to 3 times 3 minus 7. I substitute 3 for y, then solve for x. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 minus 7 is 2. That's step 4. That's step 4. So for the final answer, write x comma y equal to 2 comma 3 or you can write s equal to 2, y equal to 3. That's an answer. That's an answer of this system of equation. Next, (4x minus y) equal to 13. 2x plus y equal to 5. 4x minus y equal to 13. 2x plus y equal to 5. So first step, choose one of an equation, solve for one of the variables. So in this equation, we try to solve for one of the variable first. If you observe this equation, you can see that in the second equation, we have y. We have single letter y. So solving for y in the second equation will be much easier. In the first equation, we have negative y. Solving for negative y is not that easy, but solving for positive y is much easier. Solving for positive y is much easier. So first step, choose one of an equation, solve for one of the variable. Step 1, I choose the second equation, solve for y. In order to get y by itself, I subtract 2x from both sides. So on the left side, positive 2x and negative 2x can cancel. I get y by itself. On the right side, 5 minus 2x, I leave here the way it is. They are non-linear and they cannot be combined. That's step 1. Choose one of an equation, solve for one of the variable. Step 2. Step 2 says, substitute the new expression into another equation. Since I solved y from the second equation, when I substitute, I must substitute y back to the first equation. Since I solved this y from the second equation, when I substitute, I need to substitute y into the first equation. If I substitute y into the first equation, I have 4x minus 5 minus 2x equal to 13. When I substitute y into the first equation. I get 4x minus 5 minus 2x equal to 13. Replace y with the new expression. That's step 2. Step 3. Step 3, solve an equation for x. Step 3, solve an equation for x. Solve an equation for x. When there's a parenthesis, distribute everything in the front first. In front of the parenthesis, we have a negative sign. So distribute negative sign into the parenthesis. I have negative 5. Negative 2, double negative. When I distribute negative sign, double negative. Negative 2 become positive 2. When I distribute negative sign, double negative become positive. I get positive 2x. Then combine like terms. 4x plus 2x is 6x. In order to get s by itself, I can add 5 to both sides. On the left side here, positive 5 and negative 5 can cancel. I get 6s by itself. On the right side, 13 plus 5 is 18. Then, in order to get x by itself, I divide both sides by 6. On the left side, number 6 on the top and the bottom can cancel. We get s by itself. On the right side, 18 divided by 6 is 3. So that's step 3 here. Solve the equation. Step 3, solve an equation for one of the variable. That's step 3. Solve for the resulting equation. I solve this equation for 3. That's step 3. I solve an equation as is 3. Then step 4. Substitute one of a variable, solve for another variable. Step 4. I substitute 3 for x, solve for y. Substitute one of a variable and solve for another variable. I substitute 3 for x and solve for y. Y equal to 5 minus 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 5 minus 6 is -1. So the answer s equal to 3, y equal to -1. So you can write s comma y equal to 3 comma -1. We must write the s coordinate first. So the answer s comma y equal to 3 comma -1. We must write the s coordinate first. Then, or we can write it as s equal to 3, y equal to -1. That's an answer. Let's look at a different example. Two x plus 3y equal to -4. X minus y equal to 3. So, first step, choose one of an equation, solve for one of the variable. If I choose the second equation here, solving for x is much easier than solving for y. X has positive coefficient. X is positive, y is negative. Solving for a positive term is much easier than solving for a negative term. So step 1. I solve the first equation. I solve the first equation for x. S minus y equal to 3. Solve the first equation for x. I can add y to both sides. I have -y and positive get cancel. S equal to y plus 3. That's step 1. Step 2. Substitute x into the original equation. Here we solve x from the second one. When I substitute x, I need to substitute in the first equation. Since I solve x from the second equation, when I substitute, I need to substitute x into the first equation. So I have 2 times y plus 3 plus 3y equal to -4. I substitute x into the first equation. That's step 2. Step 3, solve an equation for y. Step 3, solve an equation for y. I can distribute 2 first. Distribute 2 first. I get 2y plus 6 plus 3y equal to -4. If I combine like term, 2y plus 3y is 5y. Leave number 6 by itself. Then, in order to solve for y, I can subtract 6 from both sides. On the left side, positive 6 and negative 6 get cancelled. We get 5y by itself. On the right side, -4 and -6, we try to combine like terms. For -4 and -6, try to combine like terms. When we're adding two numbers with the same sign, keeping the sign and the magnitude, 4 plus 6 is 10. In order to get y by itself, we divide both sides by 5. Then number 5 on the left side get cancelled. We have y by itself. On the right side, -10 divided by positive 5. Negative number divided by positive number is always negative. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So that's step 3. Solve an equation for one of the variable. Step 4. Step 4. Substitute one of the variable. Solve for the other variable. Step 3, you can say that solve the resulting equation for one of the variable. solve the resulting equation for one of the variables. So solve the equation for one of the variables, y equal to -2. Then step 4, substitute one of the variable, solve for the other variable. Step 4, substitute one of the variables and solve for the other variable. S equal to -2 plus 3. I substitute -2 for y. S equal to -2 plus 3. -2 plus 3. When we adding two numbers with different sign, keep the sign for a number that has larger magnitude, which is positive. Positive 3 has larger magnitude, so I keep positive sign. Then subtract the magnitude. 3 minus 2 is 1. So the answer, x is 1, y is -2. So I write s comma y equal to 1 comma -2. Or we can write s equal to 1, y equal to -2. That's an answer. That's an answer to my equation, to the system of equation. Number 8. Three x plus 2y equal to 2. Negative 5x minus 2y equal to 2. So first step, you choose one of the equations and solve for one of the variables. Whichever is easier, you can choose any one, whichever you think is easier. If you observe the problem, which one is easier? We have 3x, 2y in the first equation. Negative 5x, negative 2y. Every term has a coefficient, so no one is actually easier than the other. No one is easier than the other. So you can pick any equation. No one is easier than the other. So choose any equation, solve for any variable. This one, and we may need more space, so let me write it here. Choose any equation, solve for any variables. So since no one is easier than the other, let me pick the first equation, solve for x. I have 3x plus 2y equal to 2. I pick the first equation, solve for x. 3x plus 2y equal to 2. I choose the first equation, solve for x. That means I need to eliminate 2y first. Subtract 2y, I get positive 2y, negative 1 cancel. I have 3x left on the left side. On the right side, I have 2 minus 2y. In order to get x by itself, I need to divide both sides by 3. So I divide every term by 3. I divide every term by 3. On the left side, number 3 on the top and the bottom get cancelled. I get s by itself. On the right side, 2 over 3 is not divisible, so I leave it the way it is. Again, 2 over 3 is not divisible. I leave it the way it is. So that's step 1. Choose one of the equation, solve for one of the variables. Step 2. Let me put it here. We may need more space. Step 2. Substitute the new expression into a different equation. Since I solve x from the first equation, when I substitute x into the second equation. Since I solve x from the first equation, when I substitute x into the second equation. I have negative 5 times 2 over 3 minus 2 over 3 times y minus 2y equal to 2. I replace x with the new expression. In the second equation, I replace x with the new expression. Then This equation has only one unknown. This equation has only one unknown. I can solve this equation for y. First of all, I distribute negative 5 into the parentheses. Distribute negative 5 into the parentheses. I have negative 5 times 2 over 3. When I distribute, I have negative 5 times 2 over 3. So when we have a whole number multiplied by fraction, we write the whole number over 1. Then multiply. We multiply the top to the top, bottom to the bottom. I get negative 10 over 3, which is negative 10 over 3. Then multiply negative 5 to negative 2 over 3. Negative 5 times negative 2 over 3. I rewrite negative 5 as negative 5 over 1 times negative 2 over 3. When we multiply the top to the top, bottom to the bottom. On the top, negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10. 1 times 3 is 3. So second term is positive 10 over 3y minus 2y equal to 2. This is the equation that contains fraction. This is the equation that contains fraction. If an equation contains fraction, we write every term as a fraction first. If an equation contains fraction, we write every term as a fraction. We write y as 1 over 1. We write 2y as 2y over 1. We write number 2 as 2 over 1. Next, you multiply. I get negative 10 over 3 plus 10y over 3. 10 times y is 10y. 3 times y is 3. Minus 2y over 1 equal to 2 over 1. Next, you can try to rewrite every fraction over the same denominator. Next, you try to rewrite every fraction over the same denominator. Denominator is 3, 3, 1, 1. The least common multiple is 3. So I try to rewrite every term over 3. First term is already over 3, I leave it the way it is. First term is already over 3, I leave it the way it is. Second term is also over 3, I leave it the way it is. For the third term, 2y over 1. If I try to put it over 3, I need to, if I try to make 1 to be 3, I need to multiply 1 by 3. Then multiply the same thing to the top. 2y times 3 is 6y. Then last term, in order to make y to be 3, I multiply the bottom by 3. Then do the same thing to the top. 2 times 3 is 6. Then for equation, if all denominators look the same, I drop the common denominator. I have negative 10 plus 10y minus 6y equal to 6. For any equation, if the denominator looks the same, we can drop the common denominator. For equation with fractions, if every denominator looks the same, we can drop the common denominator. Then simplify. Solve an equation for y. 10y minus 6y is 4y. We have negative 10 in the front, equal to 6. Then, in order to solve an equation for y, add 10 to both sides. We have 4y equal to 16. Then, in order to get y by itself, I divide both sides by 4. I get y equal to 16 over 4 is 4. I get y equal to 4. That's my step 2 here. That's step 2. That's step 2 and step 3. Step 3, I solve the equation for one of the variable. That's my step 3. I solve the equation for one of the variable. And let me put my step 4 here. Step 4. We substitute one of the variable, solve for the other variable. Step 4. I substitute one of the variable and then solve for the other variable. Substitute 4 for y. X equal to 2 over 3 minus 2 over 3 times y. Y is 4. I can rewrite 4 as 4 over 1. Then when I multiply the top to the top, bottom to the bottom. 2 times 4 is 8. On the bottom, 3 times 1 is 3. We have 2 over 3 minus 8 over 3. If they have the same denominator, I keep the denominator the same, subtract the numerator. 2 minus 8. Positive 2 minus 8. What's 2 minus 8? 2 minus 8 can be rewrite as positive 2 minus positive 8. Convert subtraction to addition. Change the sign of the second number. Positive 2 plus negative 8. When we're adding two numbers with different sign, keep the sign from the number that has larger magnitude. Then subtract the magnitude. 8 minus 2 is 6. So 2 minus 8 is negative 6. Negative 6 over 3 is negative 6 over 3 is negative 2. Negative number divided by positive number is negative 6 divided by 3 is 2. So the final answer, x, y equal to negative 2, 4. The final answer, sy equal to negative 2, 4. This looks very complicated, right? Looks very complicated. Is there a better way to solve the equation? Is there a better way to solve the equation? It looks very complicated. Is there a better way to solve the equation? Observe the equation again. We have 3x plus 2y equal to 2. Negative 5x minus 2y equal to 2. Observe this equation first. Let me copy the equation, put it here. Observe the equation here. Is there a better way to solve an equation? Is there a better way? You see that here. Positive 2y and negative 2y looks exactly the same, but opposite sign. Positive 2y and negative 2y, they look exactly the same, but opposite sign. Or if I add the equation, what do I get? If I add the equation, what do I get? If I add these two equations, what do I get? First term, 3x plus negative 5x. If I combine like terms, positive 3x plus negative 5x. When we're adding two numbers with different sign, keep the sign from the number that has larger magnitude. So here 5, negative 5 has larger magnitude. I keep negative sign. Then subtract the magnitude. 5 minus 3 is 2. Like term is x stays the same. Then when I add these two terms together, positive 2y and negative 2y can cancel. On the other side, 2 plus 2 is 4. So I have negative 2x equal to 4. If I want to get x by itself, I can divide both sides by negative 2. So on the left side, negative 2 on the top and the bottom can cancel. I get x by itself. On the right side, positive 4 divided by negative 2. Positive number divided by negative number is negative. 4 divided by 2 is 2. I get x equal to negative 2. Now, if I substitute x into the first equation, I have 3 times negative 2 plus 2y equal to 2. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6 plus 2y equal to 2. In order to get y by itself, I can add 6 to both sides. If I add 6 to both sides on the left side, positive 6, negative 6 can cancel. We get 2y by itself. On the right side, 2 plus 6 is 8. If I want to get y by itself, I can divide both sides by 2. I get y equal to 4, which means I have my x, y equal to -2, 4, which is exactly the same as this answer, but this technique is much easier. We get exactly the same answer, but this technique is much easier. If I add the equation together, 3x plus -5x is -2x. 2y can cancel. 2 plus 2 is 4. -2x equal, then we have -2x equal to 4. In order to get x by itself, I divide both sides by -2. I get x equal to 4 divided by -2 is -2. I get x equal to -2. Then I substitute -2 to one of these equations. Either one is okay. To make it easier, I substitute x into the first equation. I substitute -2 for x. Substitute x into the first equation. I get 3 times -2 plus 2y equal to 2. 3 times -2 is -6 plus 2y equal to 2. In order to get y by itself, I need to eliminate 6 first, then eliminate 2. So I add 6 to both sides. Add 6 to both sides. I get 2y equal to a. 2 plus 6 is a. Then I can divide both sides by 2. I get y equal to 4. So s is -2, y is 4. I get sy equal to -2, 4, which is the same answer as using substitution method. By using the new technique, it's much easier. Now let's try to solve a few more problems using the new technique. Let's try to solve a few more problems using the new technique. X plus y equal to 4. X minus y equal to 2. Observe the equation here. X plus y equal to 4. X minus y equal to 2. If I add the equation together, what do I get? If I add the equation together, what do I get? X plus x is 2x. Negative y plus positive y and negative y, when I add it, they get cancelled. On the other side, 4 plus 2 is 6. So I get 2x equal to 6. On the left side, x plus x is 2x. Positive y and negative y get cancelled. 2 plus 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. In order to get s by itself, I can divide both sides by 2. Then on the left side, positive 2, positive 2 on the top and bottom get cancelled. We get s by itself. On the right side, 6 divided by 2 is 3. Once I know x, I can substitute x into one of the equation, solve for y. If I substitute x into the first equation, I have x plus y equal to 4. If I substitute 3 for x, I have 3 plus y equal to 4. In order to get y by itself, I can subtract 3 from both sides. I get y equal to 4 minus 3 is 1. So I have x comma y equal to 3 comma 1. Using the new technique, sometimes it's much easier than the old technique. Using the new technique, sometimes it's much easier than the old technique. Next, (4x plus 3y equal to -7). 5x plus 3y. 5x plus 3y equal to -5. What should we do for this problem? If I add the equation together, 3y plus 3y, they won't get cancelled. 4x plus 5x is 9x. 3y plus 3y, they won't be cancelled. What should we do? If two terms get cancelled, they must have exactly the same coefficient but opposite sign. If two terms get cancelled, they must have exactly the same coefficient but opposite sign. Or if they have the same sign, what should we do? They both have positive 3y here. What should I do? What I can do is I can multiply one of an equation by -1 and leave the second equation the same. I multiply one of an equation by -1. If I multiply the first equation by -1, I have -1 times 4x is -4x. -1 times 3y is -3y. -1 times -7 is +7. I multiply the first equation by -1, which means I multiply every term by -1. +4x times -1 become -4x. +3y times -1 become -3y. +7 times -1 become -7 times -1 become +7. Then I leave the second equation the same. If I multiply one of an equation by -1 and leave the other equation the same, what do I get? Now I have -3y, +3y. When I add the equation, they get cancelled. Now let's add the equation here. -4x plus 5x. -4x plus 5x. When I add the equation, I combine like terms. When I combine the like term, I follow addition rule. -4x plus 5x. When adding two numbers with different sign, give the sign from the number that has larger magnitude. Here, +5 has larger magnitude, so I keep positive sign. Then subtract the magnitude. 5 minus 4 is 1. I get +1x. -3y and +3y, -3y and +3y. When I combine like term, they get cancelled. Then 7 plus -5. 7 minus 5. 7 minus 5 is 2. Then here, +1x is the same as x. +1x is the same as x. So I get x equal to 2. Once I get x, I can substitute x into one of these equations and solve for y. Let me substitute x into the first equation. I have 4 times 2. I substitute x into the first equation. I get 4 times 2 plus 3 times y plus 3y equal to -7. Then 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 3y equal to -7. In order to get y by itself, I subtract 8 from both sides. Positive 8, negative 8 get cancelled. I get 3y by itself. Then on the right side, -7 plus -8. -7 plus -8. When we combine in like term, double negative. When we combine in like term, if follow addition rule, when we adding two terms with the same sign, keeping the sign and the magnitude, 7 plus 8 is 15. In order to get y by itself, I divide both sides by 3. On the left side, +3 on the top and the bottom get cancelled. I get y by itself. On the right side, -15 divided by 3. If two numbers has different sign, answer is negative. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So the final answer, sy equal to 2, -5. That's the new technique. Next example. 3x minus y equal to -2. 3x minus y equal to -2. X plus 5y equal to 10. What can we do here? If I add the equation, none of the coefficient looks the same. If I add the equation, none of the coefficient looks the same. Nothing could be cancelled. What should we do? If I add the equation, none of the coefficient is the same. Nothing will be cancelled. So what should we do here? Observe this. If I multiply the first equation by 5, what do I get? if I multiply the first equation by 5, multiply first equation by 5 means I multiply every term by 5. 3x times 5 is 15x. Negative y times positive 5 is negative 5y. Negative y times 5 is negative 5y. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. And I leave the second equation the same. If I multiply first equation by 5 and leave the second equation the same, I have negative 5y, positive 5y here. Then if I add the equation, 15x plus 1x, x by itself means 1x. 15x plus 1x is 16x. 15x plus 1x is 16x. Negative 5y plus positive 5y get cancelled. Negative 10 plus positive 10 also get cancelled, I get 0. Negative 10 plus positive 10, I get 0. In order to get x by itself, I can divide both sides by 16. On the left side, 16x divided by 16 is x. 0 divided by 16 is 0. I get x. Once I know x, I can substitute x into one of the equations, solve for y. Once I know x, I can substitute x into one of the equations, solve for y. Substitute x into an equation, either equation is okay. Substitute x into either equation is okay. Let me substitute x into the second equation. If I substitute x into the second equation, I have 0 plus 5y equal to 10. 0 plus 5y is 5y. In order to get y by itself, I divide both sides by 5. So I get y equal to 2. So my solution sy equal to 0, 2. S is 0, y is 2. Next. (4x plus 3y equal to negative 19). 3x minus 2y equal to negative 10. What should we do here? What can I multiply here? For number 3, no matter what I multiply, I won't get 4, so x won't work. For number 2 here, no matter what I multiply, I won't get 3, so it won't work. What should we do? In this example, I can multiply 5 to make 5y here, to cancel 5y. But for number 12, for number 3 here, for x here, the coefficient is 3. No matter what I multiply, I won't get 4. No matter what I multiply to 3, I won't get 4. For number 2 also here, for number 2, no matter what I multiply to 2, I won't get 3. So what should I do here? Here what I can try is, if I observe 2 and 3, the least common multiple is 6. If I observe 2 and 3, the least common multiple is 6. To make 3 to be 6, I can multiply first equation by 2. To multiply 2 to be 6, I can multiply 2 by 3. So observe 2 and 3, 4 and 3 and 2 and 3. This pair is smaller. This pair is smaller. So I find the least common multiple for the smaller pair. I find the least common multiple for the smaller pair. For 2 and 3, the least common multiple is 6. To make 3 to be 6, I multiply 3 by 2. To make 2 to be 6, I multiply 2 by 3. So I multiply first equation, the entire equation, by 2. I multiply the second equation, the entire equation, by 3. What do I have here? I have a multiplied by 2 means I multiply every term by 2. 4x times 2 is ax. 3y times 2 is 6y. Negative 19 times 2 is negative 38. 3x times 3 is 9x. Negative 2y times 3 is negative 6y. Negative 10 times 3 is negative 30. If I multiply first equation by 2, second equation by 3, I have positive 6y and negative 6y. When I add them, they get cancelled. When I combine like term, they get cancelled. Ax plus 9x is 17x. Negative 38 plus negative 30. When we adding two numbers with the same sign, keep the sign add the magnitude. 38 plus 30 is 68. Then, in order to get s by itself, I divide both sides by 17. On the left side, positive 17 and negative 17 get cancelled. We get s by itself. On the right side, negative 68 divided by positive 17. Negative number divided by positive number is negative. When we divide two numbers with different sign, answer is always negative. 68 divided by 17 is 4. So we get s equal to 4. Once I know x, I substitute x into one of these equations, solve for y. It could be either equation. Substitute x into one of an equation, solve for y. It could be either equation. Let me substitute x into the first equation. I have 4 times negative 4 plus 3y equal to negative 19. I substitute negative 4 into the first equation, then solve an equation for y. 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. 4 times negative 4 is negative 16, plus 3y equal to negative 19. In order to get y by itself, I need to eliminate 16 first. So add 16 to both sides. On the left side, negative 16 and positive 16 get cancelled. We get 3y by itself. On the right side, negative 19 plus positive 16. When we're adding two numbers with different sign, keep the sign from the number that has larger magnitude. Here, negative 19 has larger magnitude, so I keep negative sign, then subtract the magnitude. 19 minus 16 is 3. In order to get y by itself, I divide both sides by 3. So 3 on the top and the bottom get cancelled, I get y by itself. Negative 3 divided by positive 3. When we divide two numbers with different sign, answer is negative. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So the answer is sy equal to negative 4 comma negative 1. That's the solution to this equation. The technique I used in example 9, 10, 11, 12 has a name. It's called the elimination method. Elimination method. The technique I use in example 9, 10, 11, 12 is called the elimination method. Let me show you the step here. Let me show you the steps for elimination method. Step 1. Decide which variable you want to eliminate. Step 1. Decide which variable you want to eliminate. Step 2. If necessary, multiply 1 of both equations. If necessary, multiply 1 of both equations by some number. multiply one or both equations by some numbers. And make the coefficient the same, but with opposite sign. The coefficient the same, but with opposite sign. Step 3. Add the equations. And eliminate one of the variables. Add the equations and eliminate one of the variables. Then solve the equation. Then solve the equation for the other variable. Step 4. Substitute the solution into one of the original equations. And solve for the other variable. So that's the elimination method. Let me show you an example step by step. Five x minus 7y equal to 24. 3x minus 5y equal to 16. 5x minus 7y equal to 24. 3x minus 5y equal to 16. So first step, decide which variable you want to eliminate. First step, decide which variable you want to eliminate. Let's compare these two pairs of numbers for x and y. It looks like the numbers, the coefficient of x is smaller. It looks like the coefficient of x is smaller. So we can try to eliminate x first. It looks like coefficient of x is smaller. We can try to eliminate x first. Least common multiple of 5 and 3 is 15. In order to make 5 to be 15, I need to multiply 5 by 3. In order to make 3 to be 15, I multiply 3 by 5. That's step 2. Multiply one or both equations by some number. Make coefficient the same by opposite sign. It's step 2. Multiply one or both equations by some numbers. Make the coefficient the same, but with opposite coefficient, with opposite sign. If I multiply 5x by 3, I get positive 15. If I multiply 3x by 5, I also get positive 15x. I want to have opposite sign, but here they have same sign. 3 times 5x is positive 15x. 5 times 3x is also positive 15x. Here they have same sign, but we want them to have opposite sign. So I multiply one of the equation by negative number. Say I multiply first equation by negative 3. If I multiply first equation by negative 3, negative 3 times 5x will be negative 15x. Negative 3 times negative 7y will be positive 21y. Negative 3 times 24 is negative 72. Then I multiply second equation by 5. 5 times 3x is 15x. 5 times negative 5y is negative 25y. 5 times 16. 5 times 16 is 80. Now you see that x has same value but opposite sign. X has same value. We decide to eliminate x first, but now we make x have the same value but opposite sign. If I add combined like terms here, negative 15x and positive 15x get cancelled. Positive 21y plus negative 25y. Follow addition rule. When we are adding two numbers with different sign, keep the sign from the number that has larger magnitude. Here, negative 25 has larger magnitude, so I keep negative sign. 20, then subtract the magnitude. 25 minus 21 is 4. Leave letter y the same. Then combine like term. Negative 72 plus 80. Negative 72 plus 80. When we are adding two numbers with different sign, keep the sign from the number that has larger magnitude. Here, positive 80 has larger magnitude, so I keep positive sign. Then subtract the magnitude. 80 minus 72 is a. In order to get y by itself, I divide both sides by negative 4. Then negative 4 on the top and the bottom get cancelled. I have letter y by itself. Positive a divided by negative 4. Positive number divided by negative number, answer is always negative. A divided by 4 is 2. So we get y equal to 2. Next, step 3. Add the equation, eliminate one of the variables. Then solve the equation for the other variable. Add the equation, I eliminate x. Then solve the equation for the other variable. Solve the equation for y. I get y equal to 2. Then substitute the solution into one of the original equations and solve for the other variable. We know y is negative 2. I substitute y into one of the original equations, either one. It could be either one of them. Then solve for the other variable. I can substitute y into the first equation. Either one is okay. Let me substitute y into the first equation. I have 5x minus 7 times negative 2 equal to 24. I substitute y into the first equation. Then in the first equation, negative 7 times negative 2 is positive 14. Then solve the equation for y. I can subtract 14 from both sides. Positive 14 and negative 14 get cancelled. I get 5x by itself. On the right side, 24 minus 14 is 10. In order to get x by itself, I can divide both sides by 5. 5 on the top and the bottom get cancelled. I get x by itself on the left side. On the right side, 10 divided by 5 is 2. I get x is equal to 2. So x comma y equal to 2 comma negative 2. That's step 4. Substitute the solution into one of an original equation and solve for the other variable. I get x is 2. So the solution x comma y equal to 2 comma negative 2. Next, two x plus 3y equal to 4. 4x plus 5y equal to 6. First step, decide which variable you want to eliminate. First step, decide which variable you want to eliminate. Observe here. If I multiply first equation by 2, I can make 4x here. That's much easier, right? If I multiply first equation by 2, 2 times 2x is 4x. Let match the second term. That will be much easier. That will be easier if I multiply first equation by 2. So eliminating x will be easier than eliminating y. I multiply first equation by 2. I can make 4x here. 4x will be the same as this 4x. But we want the same value, opposite sign. Opposite sign means if we have positive 4x, we want to have negative 4x here. We want the same value, opposite sign. If I multiply first equation by 2, I get 4x, which have the same sign as 4x. But we want opposite sign. So I can multiply first equation by negative 2. If I multiply first equation by negative 2, I have negative 4x minus 6y equal to negative 8. Multiply first equation by negative 2 means I multiply every term by negative 2. I have negative 4x, negative 6y, and negative 8. Then I can leave the second equation the same. That's step 1. Step 2. That's step 2, sorry, that's step 2. Step 3. Add the equations and eliminate one of the variables. Step 3. Add the equations and eliminate one of the variables. If I add the equation, I combine like terms. Negative 4x and positive 4x can cancel. Negative 6y and positive 5y. When we are adding two numbers with different sign, keep the sign from the number that has larger magnitude. Here, negative 6 has larger magnitude, so I keep negative sign. Then subtract the magnitude. 6 minus 5 is 1. Leave letter y the same. Same thing here, combine like terms. Negative 8 and positive 6. Follow addition rule. When we're adding two numbers with different sign, keep the sign from the number that has larger magnitude. Here, negative 8 has larger magnitude, so I keep negative sign. Subtract the magnitude. 8 minus 6 is 2. Then, in order to get y by itself, I divide both sides by negative 1. On the left side, negative 1 on the top and the bottom can cancel. We get letter y by itself. On the right side, negative 2 divided by negative 1. When we divide two numbers with the same sign, answer is positive. Double negative is positive. 2 divided by 1 is 2. So y is 2. Once we know y, it's step 3. Eliminate one of the variable, solve for the other variable. Eliminate x, solve for y. Then once we know y, substitute y into one of the original equation, solve for x. Substitute y into one of the original equation, solve for x. So let me substitute y into the first equation. It could be either equation. Let me substitute y into the first equation. I have 2x plus 3 times 2 equal to 4. Solve the equation for x. 3 times 2 is 6. In order to get x by itself, I can subtract 6 from both sides. I get 3x. Positive 6 and negative 6 can cancel. Positive 4 and negative 6 when I combine like term. Follow addition rule. When we are adding two numbers with different sign, keep the sign from the number that has larger magnitude. Here, negative 6 has larger magnitude. I keep negative sign. Then subtract magnitude. 6 minus 4 is 2. In order to get x by itself, sorry, I copied it wrong. It should be 2x here. Sorry. If I substitute, it should be 2x here. In order to get x by itself, I divide both sides by 2. I have x equal to negative 2 divided by positive 2. When we divide two numbers with different sign, answer is always negative. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So the answer x comma y equal to negative 1 comma 2. Another example. Three x minus 4y minus negative 2x. So it's 3x minus 4y equal to 18. Negative 2x minus 3y equal to 5. First step, decide which variable you want to eliminate. First step, decide which variable you want to eliminate. Here, no matter y multiplied to 3, I cannot make. No matter y multiplied to 2, I cannot make 3. No matter y multiplied to 3, I cannot make 4. That means we need to multiply both equations. No matter y multiplied to 2, I won't get 3. No matter y multiplied to 3, I won't get 4. That means I need to multiply both equations. If we need to multiply both equations by some numbers, observe which pair has smaller number. Observe which pair has smaller number. It looks like x has smaller number here. X has smaller coefficients. So I find the least common multiple for x. For 2 and 3 and 2, the least common multiple is 6. In order to make 3 to be 6, I multiply 3 by 2. In order to make negative 2 to be 6, I multiply negative 2 by 3. Then after I multiply, the top I have 2 times 3x, that's 6x. On the bottom, 3 times negative 2x, that's negative 6x. They have same value, opposite sign, so that's good. Let's multiply. That's step 2. Multiply one or both equations by some constant, making the coefficient the same but opposite sign. Multiply first equation by 2. I have 6x. 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times negative 4y is negative 8y. 2 times 18 is 36. Multiply second equation by 3. Negative 2x times 3 is negative 6x. Negative 3y times 3 is negative 9y. 3 times 5 is 15. That's step 2. Step 3. Add the equations. Eliminate one of the variables. If I add the equations, positive 6s and negative 6s can cancel. Negative 8y and positive 8y. We try to combine like terms. When I combine like terms, follow addition rule. By adding two numbers with the same sign, keeping the sign and the magnitude. 8 plus 9 is 17. Y's like term stays the same. And on the other side, 36 plus 15 is 51. In order to get y by itself, I divide both sides by negative 17. So on the left side, negative 17 on the top and the bottom get cancelled. I get y by itself. On the right side, 51 divided by negative 17. When we divide two numbers with opposite sign, answer is always negative. 51 divided by 17 is 3. So I get y equal to negative 3. In order to get x, I substitute y into one of these equations and solve for x. That's the last step. Substitute y into one of these equations and solve for x. It could be either equation. Let me substitute y into the first equation. I have 3x minus 4 times negative 3 equal to 18. Negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12. In order to get s by itself, I subtract 12 from both sides. And on the left side, positive 12 and negative 12 get cancelled. We get 3x by itself. On the right side, 18 minus 12 is 6. In order to get s by itself, I divide both sides by 3. So on the left side, number 3 on the top and the bottom get cancelled. We get s by itself. On the right side, 6 divided by 3 is 2. So the final solution, s comma y equal to 2 comma negative 3. Next example, negative 2x plus 14y equal to a. X minus 7y equal to negative 4. So first step, decide which variable you want to eliminate. In this example, if I multiply the second equation by 2, I can make 2x, and 2x will cancel negative 2x. So that's first step, decide which variable to be eliminated. If I multiply second equation by 2, I can make 2x here, and positive 2x will cancel negative 2x. Multiply second equation by 2, leave the first equation the same. Multiply second equation by 2. I have 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 7 is negative 14y. 2 times negative 7y is negative 14y. 2 times negative 4 is negative a. If I add the equation together, combine like terms, negative 2x plus 2x, they get cancelled. Negative 4y, positive 14y and negative 14y get cancelled. I get 0. If everything gets cancelled, I get 0. Positive a and negative a also get cancelled, I get 0. 0 over 0, 0 equal to 0. This is always true. But what does it tell us? This is always true. 0 equal to 0, this is always true. But what does it tell us? This is always true. But what does it tell us? Let's leave this question for now. Try a different example and I'll go back to this example. Let's leave it for now. Try a different example, I'll go back to this later. Let's try a different example. If I try another example, 3x minus 5y equal to 4. 6x minus 10y equal to 9. For this example, how do we solve the equation here? Same thing. First step, decide which variable you want to eliminate. It looks like if I multiply first equation by 2, I can make 6x, which match the 6x on the bottom. But if I multiply by first equation by 2, I have positive 6x, which is the same value, but we want opposite sign. So I need to multiply first equation by negative 2. If I multiply first equation by negative 2, I have negative 6x, which will be the same as 6x but opposite sign. Negative 5y times negative 2 is positive 10y. Negative 5y times negative 2 is positive 10y. 4 times negative 2 is negative a. If I leave the second equation the same, I get 6x minus 10y equal to 9. If I add the equation, combine like terms, negative 6x and positive 6x get cancelled. But positive 10y and negative 10y also get cancelled, we get 0. On the other side, negative a and positive 9. Combine like terms, follow addition rule. When we adding two numbers with the same sign, keep the sign from the number that has larger magnitude. Here, number 9 has larger magnitude, so I keep positive sign. Then subtract the magnitude. 9 minus 8 is 1. We get 0 equal to 1. This is always false. 0 can never be 1. 0 equal to 1, this is always false. What does this answer tell us? So 16 and 17, they are called special cases. We have two special cases. Special case 1. If all variables are eliminated, if all variables are eliminated, when solving the system, if all variables are eliminated when solving the system, and a true statement is obtained, a true equation is obtained, then we say these two equations are dependent. Then we say the equations are dependent. Then we say the equations are dependent. Dependent means it has infinitely many solutions. If all variables are eliminated when solving the system, and a true equation is obtained, like example 16, a true statement is obtained, then we say the equations are dependent. We say these two equations are dependent, and the system has infinitely many solutions. The system has infinitely many solutions. For number 16, we say they are dependent. They are dependent. For number 16, we say they are dependent. It has infinitely many solutions. Number 16, we say it's dependent. It has infinitely many solutions. That's special case 1. Special case 2. Special case 2. If all variables are eliminated, and solving the system. And a false statement is obtained. A false equation is obtained. Then we say the system is inconsistent. We say the system is inconsistent and it has no solutions. Like example 17, if all variables are eliminated and a false statement is obtained, that means the system is inconsistent and there are no solutions. So for the answer, you write inconsistent. Inconsistent means there are no solutions. So those are two special cases. Dependent means there are infinitely many solutions. If all variables are eliminated and a true equation is obtained, that means these equations are dependent. There are infinitely many solutions. If all variables are eliminated and a false statement is obtained, that means this system of equations is inconsistent and there are no solutions. Those are two special cases of linear equations, system of linear equations. Next, let's look at some word problems. Admission price at a high school football game were $10 for adults and $6 for students. If a total of 175 tickets sold for $1,450, how many adults and how many students attend the game? So first of all, let's set out the problem first. So assume X adults and Y students. We don't know how many adults, how many students attend the game. So assume X adults, Y students attend the game. Assume X adults, Y students attend the game. Then there are 175 tickets sold. There are 175 tickets sold. Each person needs a ticket to attend the game. Each person needs a ticket. So X plus Y is 175. There are 175 tickets sold. So each person needs a ticket to watch the game. So X plus Y. Number of adults plus number of students must be 175. A total of 175 tickets sold for $1,450. The ticket value is different for adult and student is different. If there are X adult, each adult ticket costs $10, and there are Y student ticket costs $6. The total value is $1,450. There are X adult ticket costs $10, and there are Y student ticket costs $6. The total value is $1,450. Then we have two equations, two variables. We can solve the equation for X and Y. So solve the equation here. I can multiply If I multiply first equation by 6, I can make 6y here, then match the bottom. If I multiply first equation by 6, I can make 6y here, then match the bottom. Then if I multiply by negative 6, I can make negative 6y. Negative 6y will cancel positive 6y. So I have negative 6x minus 6y. 175 times negative 6. I get negative 1050. 175 times negative 6. I get 1050. 175 times 6. 6 times 4 is 30. Carry 3 over. 6 times 7 is 42. 42 plus 3 is 42 plus 3 is 45. Write down 5. Carry 4 over. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. So 175 times 6 is 1050. Negative 6 times negative 6 times positive 175 is negative 1050. Negative number times positive number is negative. Negative number times positive number is negative. The bottom we have 10x plus 6y equal to 1450. If I add the equations, negative 6x plus 10x, I combine like terms. When adding two numbers with different sign, keep the sign from the number that has larger magnitude. Here 10 has larger magnitude, so I keep positive sign. Subtract the magnitude. 10 minus 6 is 4. So I get 4x. 6 will get cancelled. Negative 1050 plus 1450. Same thing. Combine like terms. When adding two numbers with different sign, keep the sign from the number that has larger magnitude. 1450 has larger magnitude, so I keep positive sign. Then subtract the magnitude. 1450 minus 1050 is 400. In order to get s by itself, I can divide both sides by 4. So number 4 on the top and the bottom get cancelled. I get s by itself. 400 divided by 4 is 100. So I get x is 100. Once I get x, I can substitute x to find y. Let me substitute x into the first equation. Solve for y. I have 100 plus y equal to 175. In order to get y by itself, I can subtract 100 from both sides. I get y equal to, on the left side, 100 get cancelled. On the right side, 175 minus 100 is 75. So x represents adult, y represents student tickets. So that means there are 100 adults and 75 students watch the game. There are 100 adults and 75 students attend the game. So we have 100 adults and 75 students attend the game. Next one. A person purchased a total of 80 stamps for $25.76. If she only bought 34 cent and 25 cent stamps, how many of each did she buy? A student purchased a total of 80 stamps for $25.76. If she only bought 34 cent and 25 cent stamps, how many of each did she buy? So let's set out the question first. Assume she bought X 34 cent stamps and Y 25-cent stamps. Assume she bought X 34-cent stamps and Y 25-cent stamps. Then she bought a total of 80%. X plus Y equal to 80. The total cost is $25.76. 34-cent stamp costs 34 cents each. 25-cent stamp costs 25 cents each. The total value is $25.76, which means 2,576 cents. $25.76, if I convert to cents, is 25.76 cents. Then solve an equation. If I multiply first equation by 25, I can make 25y. 25y will match this 25y here. So if I multiply first equation by 25, I have 25y. But I want opposite sign. So I multiply first equation by negative 25. Then I have negative 25y. Negative 25y will cancel positive 25y. So I multiply first equation by negative 25. I have negative 25x. Negative 25 times x is negative 25x. Negative 25 times y is negative 25y. Negative 25 times 80. Negative 25 times 80 is negative 2,000. Then leave the bottom the same. 34x plus 25y equal to 2,576. If I add the equation together, I combine like terms. Negative 25x and 34x. When adding two numbers with different sign, keep the sign for a number that has larger magnitude. So here 34 has larger magnitude, so I keep positive sign. Then subtract the magnitude. 34 minus 25 is 9. 9x. 34 minus 25 is 9. 25y can cancel. And 2,000, negative 2,000 and positive 2,576. Try to combine like terms. When adding two numbers with different sign, keep the sign from a number that has larger magnitude. Then subtract the magnitude. 2,576 minus 2,000 is 576. Then, in order to get x by itself, I divide both sides by 9. Number 9 on the top and the bottom can cancel. I get x by itself. 576 divided by 9, I have 64. 576 divided by 9, I have 64. Once I know x, I can substitute x and find y. Once I know x, I can substitute x, find y. I have 64 plus y equal to 80. I substitute 64 into the first equation, then solve for y. I can subtract 65 from both sides. Y equal to 16. That means she bought 64 34-cent stamps, and she bought 16 25-cent stamps. Next, a student has 2 part-time jobs in a restaurant. Last week, she worked 12 hours as a cashier and 10 hours as a cook and earned a total of $360. This week, she worked 14 hours as a cashier and 20 hours as a cook and earned a total of $570. what is her hourly wage as a cashier, and what is her hourly wage as a cook. Let's first of all set up the problems. We are looking for her hourly wage as a cashier and her hourly wage as a cook. Assume her hourly wage is X dollars as a cashier and her hourly wage is Y dollars as a cook. Last week, she worked 12 hours as a cashier and 10 hours as a cook. She earned a total of $360. This week, she worked 14 hours as a cashier and 20 hours as a cook. She earned a total of $570. We try to solve an equation for X and Y. Observe first. First of all, decide which variable you want to eliminate first. Observe Y here. If I multiply first equation by 2, I can make 20Y by one opposite sign. So I can multiply first equation by -2. If I multiply first equation by -2, I have -20y. -20y and positive 20y eventually will be cancelled. So I multiply first equation by -2. 12x times -2 is -24x. 10y times -2 is -20y. 360 times -2 is -720. Leave the other equation the same. 14x plus 20y equal to 570. Then add the equation together. We try to combine like terms. -24x and positive 14x combine like terms. But when adding two numbers with different sign, we keep the sign from the number that has larger magnitude. Here, -24 has larger magnitude. Then subtract the numbers, subtract the magnitude. 24 minus 14 is 10. -20y and positive 20y get cancelled. Then on the other side, we have -720 and positive 570. When we're adding two numbers with different sign, keep the sign from the number that has larger magnitude. -70 has larger magnitude, keep negative sign. Then subtract the magnitude. 720 minus 570 is 150. Then in order to get x by itself, I divide both sides by -10. So x is 15. Once I know x is 15, I substitute x into one of the equation, solve for y. Let me substitute x into the first equation. I have 12 times 15 plus 10 times y equal to 360. 12 times 15 is 180 plus 10y equal to 360. In order to get y by itself, I can subtract 180 from both sides. Then on the left side, positive 180 and negative 180 get cancelled. We get 10y by itself. On the right side, 360 minus 180 is 180. In order to get y by itself, I divide both sides by 10. On the left side, 10 get cancelled. I get y by itself. On the right side, 18 divided by 10. 180 divided by 10 is 18. So x is 15, y is 18. That means her hourly wage is $15 as a cashier and $18 as a cook. Her hourly rate is $15 as a cashier and $18 as a cook. Next example, the length of a rectangle is 5 inches more than 4 times the width. If the perimeter of a rectangle is 180 inches, find the dimension of a rectangle. What we are looking for is the dimension of a rectangle. Dimension means the length and the width. So assume the length of the rectangle is x inches and the width of the rectangle is y inches. Then we know that the length of the rectangle is 5 times more than 4 times its width. So the length is 5 inches more than 4 times its width. The width is y. So 4 times the width is 4y. Five more than 4 times the width is 4y plus 5. The length of rectangle is 5 inches more than 4 times its width. That means 4 times its width plus 5. And if the perimeter of a rectangle is 180 inches, perimeter means twice the length plus twice the width is 180. So the length is 5 inches more than 4 times its width, and the perimeter is 180 inches. Perimeter means twice the length plus twice the width. For any rectangle, that's the length, that's the width. Its perimeter represents all four sides. We have x twice, y twice. 2x plus 2y is the perimeter. Then solve this equation. In this equation, I can directly substitute x into the second equation. So using substitution method will be much easier. I can directly substitute x into the second equation. I already have x by itself. I can directly substitute x into the second equation. So for this problem, using substitution method will be much easier. So let me substitute x into the second equation. I have 2 times 4y plus 5 plus 2y equal to 180. Substitute, replace x with 4y plus 5. Then solve this equation for y. This equation only has one unknown, which is y. So solve this equation for y. I can distribute 2 first. 2 times 4y is 8y. 2 times 5 is 10. Plus 2y equal to 180. Then combine like terms. 8y plus 2y is 10y. 10y plus 10 is 180. In order to get y by itself, I need to eliminate this 10 first. Then eliminate the 10 in the front. So I first of all subtract 10 from both sides. Plus 10 minus 10 can cancel on the left side. I get 10y. On the right side, 180 minus 10 is 170. So I have 10y equal to 170. In order to get y by itself, I divide both sides by 10. 10 on the top and the bottom get cancelled. I get y by itself. 170 divided by 10 is 17. So I get y equal to 17. Once I know y, I can substitute y to find x. X is, substitute 17 here. X is 4 times y plus 5. Y is 17, so I get 4 times 17 plus 5. 4 times 17, multiply first. 4 times 17 is 64, 68. 68 plus 5 is 73. So x represents the length, y represents the width. So the length is 73 inches. The width is 17 inches.